How y'all doing? Can you hear me okay? Uncle Steve Picker. How you doing? I'll wait just a second to let a few folks come in. I don't expect a big audience. We're not on Facebook or anything. Just wanted to, hey, Picking in a Jeep is here. Uncle Steve is here. Retro Nelly. Can y'all hear me? You said no. Can y'all hear me? Yes? No? Thank you. A bunch of folks in here tonight. I just wanted to, I was hoping the signal, there's three purposes here. One is to see if I can actually run something from in here. Is it okay? I'm hoping it's okay. And two is to do a little Q&A for a few folks possibly who have questions. I'm overwhelmed with questions, and instead of me going through this mountain here, I thought maybe I could knock a few of them out here, and maybe you can help me a little bit in the chats and stuff if they come up over time. Hey, Eric, how you doing, brother? OBX is here too. So I know a bunch of people are just now filtering in, so I'll just repeat myself. So I want to see if the internet's working down here. If I could do a show from down here, Reseller is here. I also want to answer some questions. The third purpose here is that I've been getting a ton of stuff from folks who we've rejected as sellers. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? And there's been a lot. We've rejected far more than we've accepted. And I wanted to clarify a few things. If there's anybody who's applied to be a seller in here, why you've been rejected, and teach you how to reapply as well. I know it is. I don't expect many folks in here, but I did this earlier in the day. Eric's like, I'm out. I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm not going to be on long. So just your choppy video, okay sound. That's no good. Any rate, I just wanted to say something here. This way it'll stand up there. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. But for those people who've been rejected, hopefully you're going to see this video later. I'm freezing, huh? That's no good. Maybe I should have done it somewhere else, but I kind of wanted to test that. Not horrible, they say. All right, well, I'll say what I have to say, and if anybody has any questions, that's fine. So if you have been rejected as a seller, I just want to tell folks that they can go ahead and reapply if you want to, and I'm just giving you the cheat sheet here. This is what you need to do. You need to read those community guidelines in the threads. Read the whole thing. At the end, there's a video attached. And wish I had enough anyone type item. There you go. Well, Dragon Master, you never know what you can find, right? Go ahead, read those community guidelines. There's a video attached. It's on Garage Sale Nation. You can type, if you can't find it, Garage Sale Nation, type in Commons or Shop Commons, and it'll come up. Watch that video. If you do that and reapply, and you state that in the application, you got to state it in the application, state that you've read those community guidelines, that you have watched that video, and then do two more things. Tell me why you think you're a good fit, because everybody's not a good fit for this. And what type of items would you like to bring? Okay, if you do that, you're more than likely going to be accepted. Okay, you're going to be accepted as a seller. At this point, we're selling so much, y'all. We've sold far more than listed. And the sales keep going up, and it's the same folks that are making the sales for the most part, although there's been 140 different people make sales in here so far, and about 155 or 60 have listed something. So almost everybody who's listed something has sold something, but the same people are selling over and over. It's a different kind of marketplace, so it may not be for everybody as a seller. But if you do that, I don't want anybody to get ticked that you're not being accepted as a seller, and that's the reason why. So go ahead and feel free to reapply and do those things, and you may be, do you or can you get inventory? Huh? Okay. Yeah, oh, I see. As far as being a seller, right? Because you're selling it at cheaper than retail or online prices because you're selling it in bulk, and it's selling quickly for people. And so that model is fitting folks. Will there be an option to do lots such as an MCM lot? Yeah, absolutely. You can do it right now. You can do it right now, Trash Cat Rescue. That's the point. And they don't have to all be identical lots, right? If they're all MCM, like I'm going to do a Tupperware one in a couple of days, right? It's all Tupperware, so I'm going to do that. Isn't that theoretically impossible? Well, it's actually really impossible, not theoretically. My point is there are more sold listings than there are current listings now. Very good point. But At any rate, Joe Deals is in the house. Hey, hey, oh, hey, there you go. That's the other thing I wanted to point out. You see those little stars by those people's names? I don't want anybody to get ticked off at this, okay? Nothing is going to change for anybody, okay? There is a subscription in here. I want to just make clear before Dave and Carrie start ripping on me for it, which, of course, they do 10 times more than I do. I'll answer that question in a minute, Crispy Toys. So there's multiple reasons that I've implemented this thing. You know I'm not a big membership guy. I don't do that on my channels and whatever. This has been far more successful than I thought and much more difficult to manage than I thought at this stage because it's been doing so well. So the hardest part on Dibdit for me, and we've passed this off to Biggs Collectibles for the most part, is to manage the live selling. And most of the sellers, we've been able to educate the sellers in here and they're doing the right thing. We still have stuff that's not perfect, but it takes time. I don't want to multiply that by the live selling. I don't want to have 50 people in here selling and not be able to do two things. Police them, in a sense, because I don't want somebody coming on and not selling wholesale lots, for instance. But I also don't want to have people competing against each other. I want to be able to help the people who are selling live because they're taking a risk. They're selling bulk lots of stuff. And I want them to be able to get enough money to make it make sense and to support the buyers who are buying to make it make sense for them. So I'm a little scared of that. So what I did was to control it, have a subscription if you want to try it. It's $4.95. There's a couple other benefits. There's like a chat thing where the live sellers can talk to each other without everybody live selling. There is a ridiculously expensive one, $24.95 a month, but that's for the people because we believe that there are a limited group of people who will really, really do well on live selling, and it'll be unlimited live selling. And those people, I'm not putting it in the deal, but I want to support those people. I want to go on live and sell with them. I want to bring them on. I want to bring my audience to them, and it's going to take a lot of time. So we're doing it that way. If you ever do want to try live selling and you just, you want to try it and you want to sign up for a month and see how it goes or whatever at some point, that's fine. You do that and then you stop. And I want to support those people. So it's not going to change for anybody. Oh, they also get a 1% selling discount because they're paying whatever a month. All of that is going to hopefully keep the cost down. So 8% selling fees is pretty darn cheap, especially when it's on the selling side only, not the shipping side. I lost that Crispy Toys question. How big or small lot should be? If I have 100 of something, is 4 lots at 25 okay? Great question. What I didn't want to do is say, hey, you have to have X amount of things to make it a lot, okay? Because everything's different, right? If it's a stack of 1987 Topps baseball cards and you say, oh, I got 10 of them, it's a lot. That's stupid. Nobody wants to do that. But if you got 10 puffer starter jackets, that's a wholesale lot. So it's very difficult to put a number on those things. So I would just say this. I would say bring larger lots rather than smaller lots. So to me, depending on the size of something, I wouldn't sell 25 at a time necessarily, unless the cost is high and you think it might retract from the buyers that they don't invest that much money. I'd sell all 100 of them at a time or 50. However, if 25 in multi-quantity is fine, that's perfectly fine with me as well. So I know what it is when I see it, and you guys do too, especially if you're in here and you're a buyer. You'll notice that there are tons of... What happens is the good lots pop on and they're sold. They're gone quickly. There you go. I believe in what you're doing. Well, hey, I appreciate that. Joe Deals did today, and I'm going to try to support you the best I can and support everybody who does that and everybody in this marketplace. So I can't wait. We are going to get up and do wholesale live stuff soon. I'll be the first one on there. And what I'll do, and 19th is when it's scheduled. I don't know if it'll be when it happens. But when I do that, I'm going to invite the people who have already signed up for that to come on and just sell 1 lot with me or 2 lots with me to get used to it, see how it goes. Because I don't want anybody risking money, and I just want it to be good for buyers, to be good for sellers. And, I don't know how to explain it other than I feel an obligation to people to make sure that they're having success as a seller. But more importantly, because this marketplace is a reseller to resell wholesale marketplace, I feel an obligation to make sure that we're bringing good sellers to this platform who it works for them so that the buyers can also do well. And the buyer's been amazing, y'all. It's just amazing to me to have. This is, I think, month 2 officially. We launched it before we officially launched it, is today. And to have the sales is, I mean, 840, yeah, there you go, Darcy, sold 2 lots today. 840 lots have sold in the first 2 months of this thing without live selling. With a limited audience, this is just so exciting to me, and I'm so thankful that you guys have done this and been here. If you're Juliet, if you're over there, you don't need to come over. We're not selling anything today. It's just a Q&A. What's your P.O. Box? I have some cool license plates. P.O. Box 1427, Bedford, Virginia, 24523. So I'm looking for questions in here. I find shopping is too much for me. Okay, it's too much money for you. And that's fine. Hey, it doesn't work for every reseller as well. Just like we're trying to match people that can't get out, people that are buying for their antique booth, people that are buying to sell on Amazon. There's people on here buying to sell on whatnot. There's people buying on here to sell on eBay. Those lots tend to go quick. If there's eBay value and multi-quantity, they tend to go. How would you really decide how much you try to make for a lot? Life, like if it did lots of 50 toy figures and I paid $1 each, what's too much or too little to ask for my lot per each item? To me, Dragon Master Finds, I don't think it makes a difference what you paid for it when it comes to pricing. I know it does, but it doesn't to the buyer, so what does it make a difference? If it depends on what the toy is. If you're like, I've sold stuff on here that's not eBay stuff. I know it's not eBay stuff. But I also had an antique booth, and I know that this is perfect for somebody that does an antique booth. I've seen Beanie Baby lots sell on here. Not the stuff she wears, the stuff she grew out of. Right? It was just an experiment. A ton of her clothes, but all the same size. And I know somebody bought that for themselves. Somebody bought Christmas lights today. They're not to resell. There's a massive quantity. So there's different people that are benefiting. Sold McDonald Beanie Baby lot. So glad to get rid of them, right? And so it meets a need, but it also meets somebody else's need. My guess is those people are selling them in an antique booth somewhere, and they're going to double their money on them, right? But then there's been some really, really good eBay lots come through here too. So if you're a buyer, you got to keep checking back. The more and more buyers or sellers we get that get it, the more and more listings will be on there. So there are also some sellers on here have listed 15 lots and sold nothing in a month. The reason they haven't is because there's no value to the buyer. And so if you're trying to make it another option for your eBay sales or what, it's not going to work. This is for people who are buying in bulk, who have way too much. This is for storage auction buyers. This is for people who buy at the auctions and buy for their niche and have all this left over. This is for people who do house cleanouts, who come across a box of X that they don't want to part out because it's $9 a piece on eBay. It's too much time. That's what this is for. Or it could be for the person who wants to come on and sell because they're quitting eBay and they want to get rid of it quick because this is the place to do it. It wouldn't surprise me to see somebody list, $10,000 worth of stuff at some point. At this point, we don't allow mixed lots, but we're going to try to implement something during lives where it's like a build a box and it might have different genre type stuff in there. Hey, Chris, appreciate you coming by. I have 7,000 square feet of warehouse and won't live enough to list it all on eBay. So that's the kind of person. Have you been selling on here, by the way? Prosperity Liquidator. I'm like, how's it going for you? I'm just curious. So you just joined. Okay. Are you approved to sell? I can't remember. I go through so many every day, guys. It's taken so much time. That's why we did this with the subscriber thing. There is a benefit if you're never going to be a live seller and it pops your stuff up as soon as you list it on the top line. Sorting it out. So we're trying to connect people like you to people that need more inventory, especially in the wintertime up north or whatever. Flipping from the trailer, hey, how you doing? That's what we're trying to do here, and it has been unbelievably successful thus far, but I want to improve it. I want to make it better. I want to get good sellers in here. I want to get more buyers in here, and that's my... I think during the wintertime, y'all, I think we'll see it even ramp up even further. So, how you doing, Kevin? Flipping from the trailer. I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing well. And again, there's more people in here now, so I'll just repeat this. If we've rejected you as a seller, it doesn't mean we've rejected you forever. Make sure you will not get accepted if you don't say that you have read through the community guidelines, all of them. Because there's simple little things that save me massive amounts of time and make it fair for people across the board. Don't put 2 tags, for instance. Don't put 2 tags on your listing. Because those lines on the home page are where most of the sales come from unless people are searching or going into a category and filtering through. So you need to read those community guidelines and then state in your application that you've read them and you've watched that video at the end, or you've heard this video. If you state you read the community guidelines and you've heard me talk today about the ideology for it, that's fine. And then also say, hey, what are the particular kind of lots you want to bring? Because let's face it, there's been people on here that have posted stuff that's like, I'm not insulting them. I get it. But, it's $30 of eBay value and they want $15 for it and you got to ship it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for anybody. And there are other sellers on here that have posted stuff. They've literally posted, man, who is that? I'm trying to think. I should look. You know what? I'm going to look right here, y'all. I'm going to give you the insights. I just want to give you a picture of this here. Junkmaster Treasures. There you go. If my internet will work good. If I can give you these, if it'll pop up. Of course, it's not working right now. There are sellers in here who have sold thousands of dollars this month. And have, here it is. It's working now. See if I can find it. Jack's Treasures. If you're in here, brother. 51 sales. 51. Okay? Chernox Connection, 28. Grams and Pops Vintage, 18. Beach by Repeat, 16. A lot of collectibles, 15. Darcy DM, 14. Junkmaster Treasures, 13. Okay, Eric's in there. There are over 140 sellers, I think I looked that up earlier, who have sold at least one lot. And, for these folks at the top, they're selling almost every lot because they get it. And they know there has to be value, and they're turning merchandise over quicker. So that's kind of what I'm getting at Chernock. There you go. Chernock is just selling like crazy. And he sold another one today, or 2 more today. Sold 6 yesterday. So it does take a different kind of seller in here. So, and the buyers have been terrific. There are 19 sales yesterday. 19 lots sold yesterday. And this is a young marketplace. It's going to play $1,300 today. Is that right? I think that's right. Anyway, you get the point. And I got to look through some applications here. So if there's any more questions, I think I've done what I wanted to do tonight. The 19th, we're going to start up these live sales. If you do want to do a live sale, you're going to have to be a subscriber. And I know that may not strike it, right with some folks. But I think that's one way to protect, it's a way to protect my time because it's taking a lot of time. But another thing it's going to protect is it's going to protect the static selling on here. This is the highest selling static marketplace on all of District, and it's brand new. And it's going to keep growing. And I want to protect that part of it too, because a lot of people don't want to go live. And they want to have this option, and there's a lot of buyers coming in here. So, hey, Kevin, just checking in to say hello. I'm a teacher currently, and, school night. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. That's terrible. Did you say mixed lots are okay? We're working on it. We're working on it. It depends on what the mixed lot is. Right now, it's okay to do, a box of toys or whatever. Video games from all kinds of different genres or whatever. I don't think we're to the point where we're going to say, you know what, it's okay to do hats, Christmas ornaments, and baseball cards. I don't think we're there yet. But that's kind of why I want to work with the subscribers to build a relationship with them myself so that we can communicate. Hey, Joe, how you doing? And then we can say, hey, look, we're going to try this out. Why don't you come on? And if you want to build a reseller box, I don't have mysteries, but if you want to build a reseller box with different genres of stuff in it, and let's do it, and let's do it together, and let's be visible about it, then yes, we're going to try it. We're going to try doing that. And then if it works and people are happy with it, we're going to continue to do that and allow those live sellers to do things a little bit different than the static sellers. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, what else I got? Someone on here asked me privately for a series of books I have, but it won't be wholesale prices. Should I still post it for them? That's a tough question because, you know, I'd like to make my little cut of money. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but you get the point. Look, I realize doing a website like this, people may end up making relationships with each other, you know, in some way, shape, or form. And, you know, I don't want to restrict stuff, but at the same time, I want people to respect the fact that we're putting a lot of work into this, and districts in this too, and they're doing a lot of work. So I don't know what to tell you on that one, to be honest with you. If the connection's made on here, yeah. If it doesn't match what we're doing though, at the same time, you know, if somebody says, "Hey, I'm looking for a Goonies bobblehead," we're not going to put that on here. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Appreciate what you're trying to do. I appreciate you very much, and everybody, and you know, I can't tell you how overwhelmed I am with. I knew this would be a success with a small audience. What I didn't think is the audience would be as big as it is. Yeah, there you go. Sell it on One Stop Shop. You have my permission. Go sell it on One Stop Shop. That's Eric's site over there, and you can get them over there too, and you can do that. There you go. Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, if it doesn't fit our marketplace, I mean, it's wholesale. So, but if it doesn't fit what we're doing, then feel free to go do it somewhere else. So, anyway, the 19th is, I think, when we're going to start that off over there. Can people make offers on the lots we post? Yes, if you allow them to make offers. When you post it, when you do it, you just say allow offers. You definitely can do that. And when people give you likes, if you're a seller in here, if you're a buyer and you're like not quite there and you hit that like, you hit that heart, then I know what I do. I come on, if I see hearts on an item, I'm like, here's 5% off or 10% off something or whatever it is. And if it doesn't sell, this is another practice that I do. If my item doesn't sell, it's on here. If it's on this site, if it's on Commons, shopcommons.net, it's here to sell because I don't want to do anything else with it. I wanted to sell on here. Are you still sourcing at Goodwill jeans? No, I don't. But I still source jeans, just not at Goodwill. That's another thing. I've just enjoyed being out there sourcing, and like I don't normally buy jeans anymore, but if I come across a sale that's got dollar jeans and there's tons of them, I go grab them all up. As long as they're like eBay sellable jeans, I'll grab them up if they're worth $15 a piece or something. And I just bring them in and I put them in a giant box. I've sold 2 lots of jeans so far. And I'll charge like $3 a pair of jeans. There's 15 jeans, you know, I'll make $30 and it sells in a few minutes because somebody else is doing it. So next trip to Florida, that's a great question. It was going to be this week, but it's not. So sometime this fall. I was answering another question. I can't remember what the heck it was. It was about making offers. I'll drop my price. So once the item's been on here for, you know, a week or two, and it goes down $5, and it goes down $5, and it's just like somebody's going to get a deal. The same buyers are buying from the same people over and over again. It's been pretty exciting. The average order price is pretty darn good. Yesterday's was $68 average order price. So tons of new members every day, y'all. We're the 8th biggest marketplace in 2 months. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hi from Oregon. I used to live in Eugene, Springfield. A little bit, kind of, sort of. Carter's Retro Quest. Okay, I don't have anything else. I'll give you like another minute or so if anybody has any other questions about it. But mark down the 19th. Jay, thank you. Been a fan for years up here in Canada and now an eBay seller, and your knowledge has been valuable. Well, I appreciate that. Did I miss any news? I don't know. Have you applied to sell in here? Do you have any questions, Carter's Retro Quest? I don't know if we can help you with that. Corvallis, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Okay, cool. Very cool. And I'm just excited for everybody. I'm glad it's fitting. You know, this was a missing piece for a lot of folks. Hey, Death Pile Picker is in here. Look at that. He's got a star. I should have asked a guest to come on. Eric, did you want to come on? I brought. He's watching the Dolphins. He's not coming on. Tap me in for real. I'm live on Garage Sale Nation, Mike. All right, let's see if I can do this here. Let's see if I can do this. This is the kind of stuff that's why we're doing what we're doing for this subscriber thing for the live, so we can control it and help those people out, and to make sure that we're serving the buyer as well. Because I want to do this. I want to be able, I want to have fewer people do it so that I can help them, and have the people who don't want to do it be able to sell their own stuff statically. This is kind of, I'm sorry. Hey, look at this. Man, oh, you guys are at the P across Florida, aren't you?
Right. The flee across Florida. Flee across Florida, yeah.
Rod picking and punching. Hey, I got to shout out Rod, y'all. On the 18th, he's doing a high-end Dibdit sale, Dibdit.com. I'm excited about it. I'm going to go on with him, and he's selling good stuff. It's not like Dave coming in here selling his riffraff, you know. Uncle Steve's in here. Yeah. He says hi, Rod.
What's up, Uncle Steve? Oh, so he said Mike and Rod, Kevin. Why you leave me out?
Well, I invited you on. I kind of had that. I just wasn't expecting a good-looking guy in the back. It happens. Hey, you see what's above me here, Rod? You see that guy right there?
Hold on,
Rod gave me that, y'all.
Yeah, blow you up. Oh, Rod I can't blow you up.
That's very cool.
I'll see it. I'll jump. Oh, the Hulk. The Hulk. It's the Hulk. LJN.
There you go. What is your flag for shipping? Obviously, doing $1 for the item with 99 shipping is wrong. Oh, there you go. What are you trying to test me, Junkmaster Treasure? Hey, this is a good point. Mike, by the way, created an FAQ to answer these type of questions, and I've totally ignored it. So shout out, Mike. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it done.
It's 2 weeks in the works. Okay.
Look, when I was a teacher, I wasn't one to make hardline rules. But let me tell you, when somebody crossed them, they knew it, and they knew it quickly, and then everybody knew what that was. So I don't have that red line, but I will just tell you this. I like keeping this community to the point where, I've already kicked people off of here. Let's just put it that way. One person for abusing buyers. They clearly knew something wasn't the way it should be, and they took advantage of them. And the other, well, I don't want to get into the other one. But the fees over here are 8%, but it's only on the selling price. So I've encouraged, I want people to make money. I've encouraged sellers to put shipping on. Don't do free shipping, because you don't have to pay that fee on that shipping portion, but don't abuse it. And I look, and I've sent a few messages to a couple people, and I haven't been threatening, but you know, Mike was one of them. Mike did $2 and $100 shipping on one. And
that's right. Hey, take it back.
I'm kidding. He didn't. Look, there's also another thing. Yeah. What did you say, Rod?
That's why we have to pay fees on shipping on eBay, because that's what it was back in the day. It was a Wild West.
Because people abuse it. But here's what we got. We also have report an item. And so be aware of that too. If somebody, you know, I don't know, who likes me wants to tell me that somebody's taking advantage of this site or doing whatever, they just report that item, and it goes right to district, and then they'll clarify it with me. You get there you go. Rod shows up at your house when you take advantage of the that's right. We just send him out. We send Roman out, we send Death Pile Picker out, we send Rod out, and that's how we deal with it.
I'm all for the bad buyer mafia.
No,
I think we need to set up a network. Just the people of fraudulent returns, people that mail carrots back.
But hey, I like the idea of not having to pay those fees on the shipping. So you know, that's why you should do it. That's the way you should do it. That's why I'm doing it. You know, I'm putting in, you know, what if I had to ship a big box to, you know, Oklahoma, that's about what I'm putting in. It's another thing you could do. I've had people contact me and say, hey, I live in Virginia. Can we cut the shipping down? Absolutely.
For sure. And I mean, I agree with you there, Kevin. We had a comment in here that says they do calculated. Now, calculated is great on district because they offer that discounted rate for the buyer. But at the same time, like all you sellers, I want y'all to be aware, like take advantage of the settings that they have, because you can charge slightly more and it covers the cost of materials. And if you do calculated, you can't do progressive shipping. It progresses automatically, but you're able to kind of sway it in your favor and the buyer's favor at the same time, where it will hit it kind of directly on the head. Like, hey, this item, if I add it to another thing, what's it going to change my dimension? What's it going to change my weight? And you can pass along those savings while making some money for yourself.
Hey, you see Uncle Steve's question there. He said, I'm doing this wrong. I lost my butt on shipping every time. So I'm just clarifying here, Uncle Steve. You can ship any way you want. You can ship on Pirate Ship and then import that over to, you don't have to ship on district. A lot of times I find it far cheaper for these large items doing FedEx and UPS over there. Okay. I guessed low. I did Pirate Ship. Well, I'm sorry, you're a bad reseller. Don't guess low. What do you want me to tell you?
But also too is like, if you're gonna run with progressive shipping, run your heavy items first. Don't run the stuff that's 8 ounces and you're doing $2 progressive shipping and run an item that's 10 pounds next. Run the heavy items first, then do the smaller items, and then the progressive shipping will actually help out the buyer, and you won't lose money in shipping.
Now,
what's this?
I'm asking because about.
Wait a minute. There's a. Hey, let me read this. Are sellers reminded when they have outstanding offers? I'm asking because I offered 80 on a lot that you're asking 100 on and didn't get a response. Then saw you sold it for 63 on your flipper. Okay, that's a good question. No, they have to look. Well, that's not true. Depending on how they have their settings, they might get an alert that there's a liker for the item, but they might not have seen it. And so they go on there. So I would suggest this. Send them a message. That's the beauty of this thing. You can talk to people. You can know your buyer. And another thing is, I've had people that send me an offer and I'll ask them, where do you live? Because if they live in Tennessee, I'll probably take the offer. If they live in California and I'm going to pay out the nose for shipping, I probably won't take the offer. So communicate with them, and I think that's a huge deal. So if I charge $8 for the first item, $1 progressive, is that okay? Maybe. If you're shipping giant boxes, no, it's not okay. And some of them you wouldn't put together anyways. So some of my bigger, I don't put progressive on at all unless it's something I can literally put together in a lot. Mike, what do you think about that?
Yeah, and the other thing with Kevin is you're going to have a lot better chance of him responding if you utilize like the seller chat. He'll go through that, like items that you're looking for, seller chat. Also, what is the other option that we have as far as use the threads?
Well, you could pay $4.95 a month, and I'll definitely respond in the
because
in the secret chat
messaging system, just like that. I mean, District is becoming, I'm assuming, the same way that Instagram and your email is right now. Like it becomes flooded with notifications and messages, and it's a lot better to keep up in the community.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. So use that seller chat and tag people, and that still doesn't work all the time, but it usually will hit somebody. I've had a ton to sell, to trade. So that's one of the other reasons I did this subscriber thing, because if somebody is, trying to sell live, they need communication, they need help, they need tutoring, they need whatever. I a lot of times don't see the messages. It's just too daggone many. And so there's a special chat for those people who are subscribed, where I definitely check it, because I know there's just 1 or 2 or 5 questions in there, like 1 foot flipper, but there's not 700, which is normally what I'm dealing with. So,
and worst case scenario, y'all can reach out to me. Nobody wants to BS with me. So anything that I get is usually business or related to a return, this unsatisfactory or something. But
hey, I want to talk to y'all while you're there about non-stuff for just 1 second. What's the strategy tomorrow, y'all? You want to throw everybody off the other direction here?
No, absolutely not. That's the thing. Like when you establish Garage Sale Nation, it's passing along this information, the reviews, and everything. So you can't be threatened by other pickers in your area. So the way that I always prefer to do it is I will go to the outskirts. And typically, when we go to these highway sales, I'm in a big town. I'm in that small town now. So we're going to work our way toward Pensacola, picking through the smaller towns. And then, just like anything else, on Saturdays, what you want to do is hit up the big areas, look for the community sales, look for anything around there that is either a fresh sale that starts on Saturday or is a community sale, and that's where you're going to find your most success.
Rod, I want to see all the pics tomorrow of all the good finds you made, and I want you to take pictures of Mike's finds when they're terrible and send them to me.
Yeah, we'll send it over.
Dude, have you sold that T-shirt yet? Y'all have got to see this T-shirt that Rod has. Did you sell that wrestling?
I sent you the comp. That was the comp. That was the sold.
You sold that?
That was the sold comp I sent you.
Jeez. Oh, so you're buying dinner tonight then, huh?
No, I already done.
That sold in 48 hours. Insane. Absolutely insane.
I want to do this right. So if comics, it's a small box designed for comics. Is that okay? I guess. I don't think I understand completely, Trade Titan.
Are you talking about a Gemini shipping box? Because that's actually a box designed for comics. Also, too, you can actually use the medium flat rate box. Can fit about 50 comic books in a flat rate box. And it's the medium one, so it's smaller. They fit really good in there for lots. I use those on Whatnot when I was doing those, but they work well.
Hey, somebody just asked that. Hey, 1 Foot Flipper just listed a ton of comics, I think. And he's got a bunch of listings on here too. Grams and Pops, Superstar. I mentioned you earlier. You guys are, I don't know if it's this month, 18 sales this month, or is this, I think you've had 18 this month. I mean, there are people selling tons on here, y'all. We're approaching 1,000 sales in 2 months. 2 months ago today was not the official launch date, but when it became public and I started talking about it. Yeah, you have been lazy this month. Y'all got to get on it.
Listen, I have 100% sell-through rate. Everything I've listed has sold in 48 hours or less.
You know what's better than that, Rod? Carrie, of all people, has 100% sell-through rate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dave, not so much.
Can we talk about pricing, how people should price their lots on here? Because I think that's really important. And that's something we should address. Because there's a lot of people that may just not know. Because we got to remember, we're not pricing lots for eBay. When we're listing these on here, we're pricing these for other resellers to buy to make a profit. So when I price my lots, I try to be at 25 to 30% of what I think they may go for, because I want to leave that wiggle room for those resellers to be able to make a profit on those items. That's why mine sells so fast.
And it depends on the market, because there's, like I said, and Mike did this because he had CDs, and he actually found the person who's buying the most amount of CDs, and he literally asked them, at what price do you need them? Because these people are either selling, there's people buying for media shops, and they need to buy it at a certain price. There's people buying to resell on Amazon, FBA, and they're looking for a specific price. And so sometimes you gotta figure it out. If it's not there, and then you just drop it a little bit, and it's there. If it's not worth it to you, don't do it. Right? Don't do it. So it just matters. I just wanted to hop in quick to see what it looks like. I got to go record our crappy podcast. That's very good. I'm glad you know it's crappy. All right. Tell Ken we said hello. So do you allow different sellers to sell the same type lots, or do they need to be different than what other? No, of course not. That's too much work. That's too much to figure out. You just look, it's a free market, and my job is to bring good sellers and to bring the most amount of buyers we can possibly bring, and that's what I've been doing, and it's working so far, and we're going to continue to grow this thing. So if I can take a look at my live stream coming up on the 17th, what I mean about shipping, I'm nervous because I don't want to. Are you talking about Dibbed It, Trade Titan? Because you don't have a live stream on Shop Commons. You might have popped in thinking that's where you're at. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. So that makes your questions make much more sense. You're not going to get kicked off at Dibbed It. You're not going to get kicked off. I mean, you could, I suppose, but no. Look.
My beer.
You got to be used to flat rate shipping if you're, in my opinion, if you're going to do this, and the size of items, if the progressive shipping. But yeah, if you're going to do a live show on Dibbed It and you're talking about items that are fairly big, like Mike, flat rate. If this is your first item on Dibdit, it might be like $4.50, $5, and then if this was progressive shipping, if somebody bought this as their second item, I would have it for $1.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would have it for, because those things add up, right? You sell 7 of them to one person, then you've got $7 plus or $6 plus the $5. You're getting $11. So could you ship 11 of these for 11, or 8 of these for $11? Sure. So it just takes practice, and don't be afraid if you're going on the first time, second time, and it's all screwy. You'll get it figured out eventually. Talking to folks. Mike tried to get kicked off by running 60-second auctions.
That was like a mistake. It was an accidental thing. We overcame and endured, and we fixed those problems, and we'll no longer do that. It's horrible, people. It just drags you out. Like people start to go to sleep.
Hey, Open Window Studios, they say they just joined Commons, excited to make connections with vintage and antique sellers and shop owners. Ask, if there's things that you are looking for. Tim over the years did this particularly. He's like, hey, what are you looking for? I've got glass and whatever. Somebody's like, I want uranium glass plates. And he just listed them and they sold. So don't be afraid to ask for what you're looking for. I think Grams and Pops did this. Somebody said they're looking for casters for chairs, like by the bushel full. And he listed them because he had them. Need to find those lots of fantasy and science fiction miniatures. Okay, there you go. So, anyway, you guys are awesome for stopping by. Chat is definitely underutilized.
Cool. Because not only
what kind of a buyer are you, right?
Pricing? What's up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're totally right. There's multiple ways.
What you're looking for. I think we got a delay.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a delay?
Yeah.
So F Fedler 6482, whatever it is. There is no. I just looked at mine. If you applied last week, then you were either approved or you were rejected. If you were rejected, I can guarantee you didn't write in your application that, and it should be in your email, by the way, that you didn't. You need to state in your application, and you can reapply, that you have read through all the community guidelines, watch the video attached at the end, and then give specific examples of what kind of lots you'd like to list. So you should have heard back. It should be in there. Maybe it's going to your junk mail or something, but you feel free to reapply and do those things. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've touched on this yet, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Commons is not just something for resellers too. Like we price everything out for resellers, but at the same time, when we're going live, like when we launch this feature and we're all at our storage shed, like you have the ability to build your own pile at a reduced rate. And that can be the end user too. It's not necessarily just another reseller, because we want to have that same kind of element that other online marketplaces offer for just a regular collector. Is that right?
Yeah. So yeah, you're totally right. Here's an example. I love this. This is awesome. Thank y'all for coming on, because I don't have to talk to myself. Somebody just said they bought. Did you buy them off of here? 75 screwdrivers, right?
That's cool.
I don't know that that's to resell on eBay, right? So there's other things. I know there's teachers in here buying stuff. I sold a giant lot of just pins the other day that they're not eBay reseller type stuff, but it was a great deal for somebody looking for 75 identical pins. Here's some scarves. So I bought a giant box of scarves, and I found 4 in there that were really, really good. Really, really good scarves that were going to make me some decent money. There were 16 that weren't. And I got a bundle deal. But somebody can sell those scarves in their antique booth or in their little fashion shop or whatever it is. So I sold all these nice scarves for $22, right? So there's 2 scarf lots just sold. That's odd. To the same person, right? So, it's just, you just never know. Paper made, vintage paper made baking cups. I mean, there's weird stuff that sells in here. So don't just think it has to be something to sell to an eBay reseller. It might be an eBay reseller you're selling it to, but they're buying it for a different reason. So there's, yeah.
They can go on there. They can buy for other stuff. Go on there and buy a big bag of McDonald's toys and give them away for Halloween.
Yeah.
When your trick or treaters come up, like there's all kinds of things you can do. But like, there's Amazon sellers in there. I sold CD lots to Amazon sellers. I'm gonna click around and flip those on Amazon. I sold lots of people that own a media store. I sold stuff to people that were just trying to make extra money for their Social Security, just make a little extra money on the side. So there's a lot of things in there that you guys can buy and do. Also, too, guys, I'm looking to buy wax boxes of sports cards or non-sports cards. So you guys have a big lot of them, and you get around like the 10, 15 bucks a box if you want to blow stuff out. Contact me on there. You can list it on there. I will go and purchase it. I'm looking to buy big lots of that. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's a great buy on here the other day that I
Western
missed.
Drifter said, "I got the
I'm
screwdriver
sorry.
so cheap, I'll quadruple my money," and that is the goal. I mean, you're wanting to stay in those margins of 3x to 5x. Now, if you're dealing with something that is not a fast sell-through rate, a really long tail item or a cheap item, put it out there where somebody can make 10x on it and feel comfortable with taking that risk and basically storing that item while they sell it over time.
Yeah, there you go. I just bought a bin. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Crispy Toy says, I just bought a bin of 200 carded Hot Wheels to a local auction right before you announced this. I wish I had saved them. Is there a way to view sold items? So there is. It's a pain in the butt, and you can't look them up. And that's an activity.
Let me do this. I'll show them. Look, go to your desktop because I'm here right now. So if you're looking right here on the left-hand side, you'll go to activity and take some time. Like if you're interested in selling on here, you just go to this activity. And I mean, one thing that I'll point out to you is right here. You see that Mary Kay sold 4 hours ago? So that sold an hour, and she listed it 4 hours ago. So now, in turn, like you can sit there and say, "Oh, you know what? I have some Mary Kay stuff that's sitting in my death pile. I want to go in there and immediately post that. That way, somebody's out there, they're looking for that Mary Kay stuff. So do some research on the activity. Take the time and go through, see what's selling, see what people are listing, and where they're having success. But
let me add this.
Also, look at their margins.
Guys, we have 78 people in the chat right now. Let us know down below what you're looking for. This is a live audience right now, so people may have this stuff and they can list it on here online here. So if you're looking for anything specific, let us know in the chat.
As far as searching what's sold, that feature is, I talked to Ivan, who's helping me with this site. That feature is in the works right now. He called me and told me about it. And so there will be, which is awesome because now I can search those things and put the comps in my video. And if I put those comps, Shop Commons comps in my video for my picker channel, it's going to bring more buyers over as well. So it's going to be searchable to find comps on. So if you got a lot of DVDs, for instance, because some people are asking, maybe they do house clean outs and they just, obviously every house has got a pile of DVDs. They don't want to go through them. They just put them in a giant lot and sell them off. Well, the people that are selling them like crazy just want them gone, right? And so $25 for 100 DVDs, boom, it'll sell like that. So it just depends on what you're doing and who you're trying to sell it to. But there's been some crazy deals that I've missed out on. You got to constantly refresh it. Did y'all see this lot right here that sold of these hats? I'm trying to find it. There was a crazy one that sold a great price, $25, and they got like 15 of the Kivu and what's the other brand name? They were brand new hats. It was like $400 worth of hats. I'm like, oh my gosh.
How long ago was it?
It wasn't that long ago. I'm trying to find it here.
I sold 46 brand new hats a couple days ago for $20 too. They were
here we go. It was 10. Okay, I exaggerate a little bit, but there was 10 brand new with tags. They were Keen and Kivu hats, brand new, 10 of them, $25.
So
I mean those are good hats to resell.
So we got a couple questions here, Kevin. So one is, do you have to have an iPhone to sell in here? No, you can sell with Android or iPhone. But I think this is a really good question, Kevin, and I think you should probably address this one here, is what are items that you notice are selling hot on here? So maybe give the audience maybe like 5 or 10 items or certain items that you see have someone on here consistently since you opened up comments.
Well, at the beginning, media was going way faster than I thought. I will tell you,
Yeah,
media. Now,
I
I
agree.
will say it's slowed down a little bit. How about this? I'm going to give you just a rundown of what's sold today. Scarf lot, Roblox, whatever. Mary Kay, big lot of Mary Kay. Dog coats and boots. It's so crazy. That's what I'm trying to make the point. Paper-made baking cups, a giant lot. A lot of 5 vintage indoor-outdoor Christmas lights. Keys, 5 pounds of keys. I've seen multiple lots of keys sell. There's jewelers people in here who do jewelry and make stuff out of silverware and all kinds of weird stuff. And they're looking for that kind of stuff. Apparel sells well. Shoes were a little slow and there's not as many listed, but Chernock sold nothing but apparel and he sold 38, 48. I don't know how many he sold. Toys, My Little Pony sold today, a lot of 40 of them. Buttons, weird stuff.
Okay.
Metal buttons, a giant lot, 2 pounds, 6 ounces metal buttons. Here's a lot of shoes that sold today, 18-piece outdoor, Merrill, etc., $85. Marbles. Here we go. Precious Moments. 14 Precious Moments sold. We've talked about this before. The people who do the Precious Moments where we can't sell them on eBay, but if you just want to get rid of them because people customize those things, there's people on here looking for that stuff. There's DVD lots, CD lots, 8-track lots, lots of models that people don't want to go through and make sure every piece is there. Lots of Legos that people don't want to go through and they just sell them in bulk and they go quickly.
Hey, I want to show something that I just did.
Okay.
And I want somebody to be able to. So I just went in here. I had this big lot of toy action figures. And to put it in perspective, I'm only selling stuff individually on other sites. I'll just say I'm selling on eBay if it's over 15. I'm actually thinking about raising it to 20. But some of these action figures are in the $10 to $14 range. I had it at $150 for 100 action figures, $1.50. Perfect for somebody that wants to get started on Dibdit, go live selling, or wants to take the time to list individually. I had it at 150. I just reduced it for this live right here to $75. So if anybody wants it,
wait, it's
get in
100
there.
action figures?
100 action figures.
So that's less than $1 an action figure, guys. Less than $1 action figures. And he's saying there's a couple in there at 10 to 14 bucks.
Yep.
So that might be a good pickup. Go take a look at that right while we're live.
But
I'll give you an example. I went to a sale the other day and there was Victoria's Secret bags. I would have normally just picked up I think I lost you for a second. I would have normally picked up the ones with tags on them. And there was, instead I bought all of them and bundled it together, got a good deal, pulled the ones with tags out and put the other 12 together in a lot, which I could probably get $8 to $15 a piece for them. But I wanted to focus my energy on those. I sold them for $30 and they sold in, I think, less than a day. So,
hey, Mike, just to answer your question, Flipping Room the Trailer asks us, so the Android app is up now. It's actually in a beta testing right now, and it's only for live. So we can't do anything static, which is something when you're looking at going live between the marketplaces. Static is a huge thing. When you're not looking to go live, static is a huge thing. And they're still working out all the kinks for what are you chuckling at?
Someone said that they combine me and you together to get Death Punch.
Hey, I like that. It's a new podcast coming soon.
Team Death Punch, right?
Look, he makes a good point, but just to address the elephant in the room, this is why I'm so excited. The success of this there is no buying app with Android yet. Imagine when there is. It's coming, y'all.
Is not possible yet, though. Paige asked, one for Flipper said, is live from a PC possible yet? And unfortunately, not at this time.
No, but look, it's coming, y'all. It's coming. I know we keep saying that, but I've been told it's coming in Q4. It's coming. So I'm going to hold their feet to the fire. If it's not, don't yell at me. Somebody sold tuning forks, 36 of them today.
Kevin, let's talk about that's something we haven't addressed yet, about how sourcing is now completely different because of this site. Yeah. Me and him are going to go ahead. the Fleet Across Florida, the huge highway sale across the tip of Florida. When we're out sourcing tomorrow, I'm looking for lots of items specifically for Commons. And the best thing though about it is it allows me to take chances. I went to a sale. I bought I bought probably hundreds of pieces of makeup, and I thought I wanted to sell makeup. I learned real fast that I hated selling makeup. So there's enough room on there. I made some money on it. I hated it. So I bundled it all together. I put it in Commons. It's still within an hour of putting up there. There's so many more options now for us out there sourcing. And just remember, guys, you guys do not have to always sell to the end user. It's okay being the middleman along the way. And that's
By the way, if you don't know who this guy is, this is Picking and Punching. So if you're watching on Garage Sale Nation, go give him a follow. Picking and Punching, Flipping and Punching. This is Mike Deathpile Picker. Go give him a follow if you can handle the shady stuff he does on his YouTube channel as well.
I'm an expert and a professional.
Picking and punching cards. If you like sports
there you go. Follow that one too.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing. Ephemera. And I can't believe how many music. What are they? Let me see if I can find one real quick. Sheet music. I bet there's been 20 lots of sheet. It's not expensive, but sheet music sales. So now if I'm out there at a sale and I can get a pile of them for $5 or something, I'm gonna get them because I know I can get $20-$30 for a pile, whatever it is in here, because somebody's buying them out there.
Yeah.
So, look at this.
I sold a small lot of ephemera that included a passport with a good ROI, and some of the other stuff's going to take a little bit. But if you find that certain thing where you can double your money, I mean, we talk about it constantly on Pickers and Flippers, is if we'll buy a box of something and be like, hey, I'm perfectly fine because I can sell this one item and get my money back. And then the rest is pure profit. And that's so look at it the same way when you're looking at listings on Commons.
Mm-hmm. So I got to read this question here. Jack's Treasures, for live selling, will there be, I lost it here. Will there be ways to customize our shipping rules? Like if we're doing lots and don't want stuff to automatically combine, like, yes, absolutely. It won't automatically combine. You have to set progressive shipping. Live selling is 100% my jam, but the shipping multiple lots of it's saying is a little scary, no doubt. So you don't have to combine them. Matter of fact, and this is why I wanted to have the subscriber thing to talk to people to kind of teach them what some good practices. What you might do is in a live, because you're selling a big lot of something, you're going to go through it, you're going to take your time, you can get to know the people who may be buying, and you could say something like, hey, I have $50 on this giant lot of X. It may not cost $50 to ship this giant box. So what you could say is, here's where I'm located. And if you're located near me, that shipping is going to be much cheaper. I'll be more than happy to refund you the difference minus $1 or $2 for whatever packaging material. And if somebody buys it farther away, it's going to cost more. So you can communicate that stuff and FedEx and do whatever. Or you could set the price at what you think it should be and then literally ask the person if they're willing to buy it before you even put it up for auction. There's all kinds of stuff like that. So communication and the interaction and the threads and the chat and getting to know your sellers. That's why we have video on these auction or on these static listings. I want you to hear their voice. I want you to know who they are. I want you to trust them. And so, there's all kinds of stuff like
Kevin,
that.
Yeah. That brings up a good point. Let's talk about the best practices when making an actual video for your listing. Because one thing I like to do is, because here, when you're selling this, you're going to be the expert, and you may have already looked these items up. You may know what they're currently going for. So when you do list them, when I do my listings, I'm telling my buyers at that point in time what these are currently selling for in other platforms, what you could potentially do, where this would be a good item to sell. These are good practices or good tips you guys want to do to help your sales.
Absolutely. And I did that when I did my listings, and now I've got Bubba's girlfriend doing it because I don't have enough time. But and she doesn't know as much. Dragon Master Finds, and I will answer your question in a second, but to answer or to talk about Rod for a second, what he just said, and I think the best, I don't do this because time is important to me, and I think most people trust me. Hey, Mojo Jojo, new seller over here, brother, is in the house. Awesome. So I can't wait to see a Mojo Dojo lot. Holy moly, that would be fire. I think using pictures and video is the best. You have to do a video. So To answer Dragon Master's fines, I know this is probably answered in the Garage Senate, but how long does a video preview for static listings have to be? I would say if all you're doing is a video, you need to go through the items, at least superficially go through them. They need to know what they're getting and be sure, because they're not going to buy unless they're sure, right? If it's hats, what brand, whatever, go through them. Do multiple. I do shorter than a minute video and post multiple videos. If you're doing pictures as well as a video, the requirement is there has to be a video. So there is no time limit requirement on it. If you're doing pictures like Chernock does because he wants that nice thumbnail for it, and then he adds the video later, then it doesn't have to be as much. So I would say the video has to be long enough to make your buyer feel comfortable. They know what they're getting.
And I think a good thing too is you do not have to be in the actual video. You can do it from first person perspective. I know some people don't like to be on camera. And guys, you guys don't have to be on camera showing your items like we do, like when we do our lives. But just show the items. That's all you have to do. Just talk over it.
Western Kentucky flippers, I didn't give the thrifters, I didn't give them the option. But they do sell for free because they're my buddies on here. I had to do that because they would whine and complain if they didn't, and they sell everything on DivDit, which is fine. I love DivDit too. Go over there, face pics and preview video, really get a boost. You notice Mike did that. He did that video, and that got more views than anything. So you can be creative, I suppose. But I am. I'm very appreciative. I'm thanking these guys as well. They have been on here. OBX is on here. Yeah.
So someone just asked a question. They asked me what makeup would I sell? It was a huge box. It was a closeout from a CVS. So it was like Maybelline. There's Paparazzi. There was I forget what else. There's like three or four different brands that were all there. It was a huge box of a mixture of things. But they were all sold at CVS. CVS was doing a giant clear out, and I ended up getting all the stuff.
I didn't need to tell you what, Paige. What did I tell you? Junkman's a treasure. Dave's wife would have liked that. Yeah, no doubt about that for sure. So, anyway, got 4 new applications in here, so I guess people know how to do this now. And we're gonna go slow and make sure we have the right sellers in here, because if we're not serving both buyers and the sellers, we're not doing anything right. We're selling reseller to reseller in some marketplace somewhere, and I'm pretty excited about this, but. All right, I got nothing else. So one more, 30 seconds. Any more questions? We'll let you roll, and we'll let these guys go get some sleep because they'll be up at the crack of dawn tomorrow.
We will be.
Rod, I appreciate you stopping by, my friend.
And, no, man, anytime, man. Listen, what everyone needs to understand is that we grow together. We're stronger together as a community than we are individually. So this is great, not just for Kevin, but it's great for the whole community, because during the wintertime, for those that have a problem sourcing, this is going to give you a solution to that problem. You're overwhelmed with your items. Now you can quick move items. It's going to give you a solution for that. So this is going to be worth 10
like
times
this
over.
guy.
I'm excited to see how
I've seen his garage, dude. You got to get rid of that stuff.
Oh, I've already been clearing it out, man. I've been clearing it out.
Don't forget, DivDit on the 18th. Rod is selling great stuff. Go pre-bid on his stuff. Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all.
I'm doing a heavyweight title, 3D emblem, Harley shirts. I didn't put those up yet. All kind of crazy stuff. So make sure you guys are there on the 18th. Everything starts at $1. I don't care. We want this to grow. So $1.
Very cool. Chris the Goose, how you doing, brother? All right, I'm out.
Say bye.
Yeah.
See you, Mike. Thank you for everything, brother. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Do you need to say anything?
Very welcome. No.
Go follow these two guys on DivDit and on Comments. Appreciate you. Shopcommons.net. Go subscribe or something. I don't know what you do. Follow.